Do I feel like my bachelor's degree will get me the job I want? No, because I'm majoring in exercise science and I'm gonna have to go off to med school. But I think that most majors don't prepare you for. You're gonna have to go on to further schooling if you want to get a job a good job. I don't think that a bachelor's degree is enough anymore.
Let's suppose I do this often in vocational guidance of students. They come to me and say, well, we're getting out of college and we haven't the faintest idea what we want to do.
I think that jobs value experience just as much as they value education. I think that applying for a job with just like your good grades and like a bachelor's degree is not enough. I think it is important to be creative in your job because when you can bring new ideas to the table, that's something that you can't teach someone, is new ideas.
How do you increase your creativity? Do you pursue your dreams? Do you pursue your interests? Or are you confined to study what you're told?
It's interesting, when she was at school, she was really hopeless. And the school in the 30s wrote to her parents and said, we think Gillian has a learning disorder. She couldn't concentrate, she was fidgeting. Anyway, she went to see this, this specialist. So this oak-panelled room, and she was there with her mother, and she was led and sat on this chair at the end, and she sat on her hands for 20 minutes while this man talked to her mother about all the problems Gillian was having at school. And at the end of it, because she was disturbing people, their homework was always late and so on, little kid of 8, in the end, the doctor went and sat next to Gillian and said, Gillian, I've listened to all these things that your mother's told me. I need to speak to her privately. So she said, he said, wait here, we'll be back, we won't be very long, and they went and left her. But as they went out the room, he turned on the radio that was sitting on his desk. And when they got out the room, he said to her mother, just stand and watch her. And the minute they left the room, she said she was on her feet, moving to the music. And they watched for a few minutes, and he turned to her mother, and he said, you know, Mrs. Lynn, Gillian isn't sick, she's a dancer. She eventually graduated from the Royal Ballet School, found her own company, the Gillian Dance Company, met Andrew Lloyd Webber. She's been responsible for some of the most successful musical theatre productions in history. She's given pleasure to millions, and she's a multi-millionaire.
So, is education hindering our creativity? Or our ability to explore what we're interested in?
There's no class that taught the creativity to choose, I'm going to make this decision or this decision, and this is the effect it's going to have. I started my own photography business, and it hasn't, the classes I took with photography, they didn't help me in the running of my business, or the class would teach me the rules of photography, but it didn't ever teach me the passion of photography. I went to school so that I could have the paper to say I could do these things. But in all reality, there's nothing, just because I have the degree and just because academia says I can do this, it doesn't mean that I can.
We have to think differently about human capacity. We have to get over this old conception of academic, non-academic, abstract, theoretical, vocational, and see it for what it is, a myth. And the only way we'll do it is by seeing our creative capacities for the richness they are, and seeing our children for the hope that they are. And our task is to educate their whole being so they can face this future. By the way, we may not see this future, but they will. And our job is to help them make something of it.